Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Advanced League Tips, a series where we take a look at each champion individually and break down their animation cancels as well as input buffering combos and item active combos that synergize with their kit. Today we're going to be taking a look at Wukong, and we're doing a one-take video because Wukong doesn't really have any animation cancels or interesting things that involve his regular abilities. However, he does have a couple interesting interactions with relevant items that he builds, i.e. not Infinity Edge, but Stridebreaker, Goredrinker, as well as a very interesting interaction with Prowlers Claw. So without any further ado, let's just jump right into it. So the first one we're going to be taking a look at is Stridebreaker. So first thing to note is that with Wukong's W, he gets a dash in target direction, and he becomes invisible for a second. Now, when he goes invisible and then activates Stridebreaker, all combat forces him to exit stealth. So when you use this, he will not stay invisible, but he can still get a surprise dash off while he is invisible, okay? So, like I had said, this will break stealth. Now, with his ultimate, spins around for 2 seconds, dealing damage and knocking up enemies, and then he gets a second cast of it. Now, this will allow you to interact with Stridebreaker. So if you're just out of range when you start your ult, you can cast Stridebreaker, and it will not interrupt the channel from the spin. So the important thing to note here is that when you're using your ult, you can activate Stridebreaker, and it will not cancel the spin at all. The only way to cancel the spin, and you'll see here, press R a second time, and it'll cancel it sooner. Now let's jump over to Goredrinker. Goredrinker pretty much has the same interaction as Stridebreaker does. You'll get the damage and you'll get the heal off. However, you obviously won't get a dash because Goredrinker doesn't give a dash. Now, an interaction with his W, again, this will break stealth. So we go here, activate it, and as he is activating it during the cast time, you can see that he breaks stealth. And obviously he gets the Goredrinker cast off. And same thing with his ultimate. You activate your ultimate, and you can activate Goredrinker in the middle of the spin. Now this will cause him to pause, but it does not stop the damage from ticking, nor does it stop the knock up from happening. So as soon as the enemy gets touched, they get the knockoff, and then any enemies that are within range of the Goredrinker damage heal will get affected, and again, it does not cancel Wukong's spin. Now let's get to the very interesting one that I am kind of shocked exists the way that it does, and that one is Prowler's Claw. Now, this one is a very underutilized assassin item with the exception of Rek'Sai, and part of the reason I think is because the Omnivamp and healing from Eclipse is very good, and the bonus % health damage and the invisibility from Duskblade is really good too, as well as the haste. So, the way Prowler's Claw works is you cast it on an enemy, and it allows you to dash through them. Now, here's where things get really interesting, okay? Now, remember how I said with the other two item actives, it breaks stealth with Wukong's W? This item deals damage, does the debuff, and does not break stealth. Why this exists, I don't know, but it's a great way to get the jump on your enemies and get a huge surprise. So like I had said, if you notice here, stealth, activate it, and we're still stealth when we go through the side here. So as long as we don't have any other input forms of damage besides Prowler's Claw, we're not going to break stealth when we dash through an enemy. And then, again, with his ultimate, this works the exact same way, believe it or not. So you cast your ult, cast Prowler's Claw, and you'll dash through the enemy, getting the knock-up damage, and it doesn't interrupt. It doesn't interrupt at all. And the thing that's cool is that you'll go through everybody, even though the debuff obviously gets put on the enemy you targeted. It's still really interesting. Press your ultimate, dash through, and everybody gets knocked up. And also with the invisibility combo, let's just try something here. Yeah, I mean, that's not really that exciting, but again, just the fact that you can not break stealth is a great way to surprise your enemies, and I think is really good for somebody like Jungle Wukong who wants to get a surprise gank off. Well, guys, again, that's all I have for you today. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see each other again tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.